The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
How exciting for Taylor Swift and for Travis Kelce, for her to win big at the Grammys and then for him to win the Super Bowl. It's like it's been written in the stars or written by someone in the government.
Oh, because that has been the talk, Nate. You brought it to our attention.
Mate, this has been happening for a while now. So there are conspiracy theorists out there that believe that the government has put Taylor and Travis together. And that is so people will be influenced to vote for Biden because Taylor famously endorsed Biden last year.
Okay.
And the pinnacle of this whole plan was them winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. So
And this will give a landslide of votes over to the Biden camp.
I mean, this would hold some water if they'd never won the Super Bowl before and she'd never won Grammys before.
Yes.
Like that,
Yes.
Then you would go, it's being orchestrated.
But this
clearly
is,
they have.
but it's
Both
not
of
about
them.
that. It's about the fact that they were put together because of these reasons.
Yeah.
Because suddenly, you're getting all these sports fans and these Taylor fans to create together, and then you use them to win the election.
Once people have got this story in, they believe it. There is no changing their minds
My
here.
favourite thing is Joe Biden's camp has poured some petrol on the flames of this conspiracy theorist because just over the weekend after the Super Bowl win, he tweeted merely this, just like we drew it up. People are going off about this, though. They are saying that, it's literally saying the NFL is rigged at a minimum and that Taylor Swift is a CEO psychopath. Now the Democratic Party has rigged and stolen the Super Bowl. You can't make this up. Well, you can because you have. Taylor Swift won the Super Bowl and she will win. She will win the election for President Biden. They are going off about this, and this is my
By
question.
they, you mean Trump supporters, obviously, because they're
They aren't sane people.
They're not sane people. No.
Two questions. Firstly, would you fake a relationship to save your country? Go. Would you?
No.
Would you enter in to save the country from what? From some evil? So you perceive there's some evil, like there's a Trump. There's a Trump coming to Australia. The only way to stop it, Natalie, is by you getting
Me personally.
You getting with who?
Well, Harley Reid, obviously, is the only answer because he's like the Messiah.
Who do you think Natalie getting with would stop everyone in their tracks? Grant Denyer. Shazzy and him break up. You and Grant Denyer have to enter into a relationship.
I don't know how you came to Grant, but that's
wouldn't
a
have to be a
Grant
sporting
would do.
person for the analogy to work.
Well, it could be. Get
Well,
yourself
you just say
a
deal
She's
or no
obviously
deal.
not happy with Grant Denyer.
No, I would never be able to wear heels again.
But would you
Not
go
prepared to
into
give up heels for Grant Denyer.
Would you go into a
No.
relationship? No. That's interesting.
But also, the fact that most governments can't organise anything.
Yeah.
You know
They
what I mean?
can't,
Like
they
we
can't
said
do
that,
anything.
And
Here's
do you
another
think
thing.
they could really orchestrate all of that?
No,
Not
Not in a
into
million
overtime.
years. Yeah, into overtime, exactly.
Second question.
Yes.
So it could be either someone you're dating or even merely a friend. You find out that one of your friends or someone you're dating believes in a conspiracy theory. Something as strange as this. Even the people that believe in the 5G towers.
Yes.
Doing something to the chips in your head. I can't remember what they're talking about. You've got the lizard people. You've got...
Well, the whole
you said-
scamdemic. You know.
Scandemic.
Yeah.
Flat earthers. Flat earthers, they're out there. They're listening right now and they think that we are stupid thinking it's a sphere. Would you be able to
It would
continue a relationship with one of
be
these
a
people?
struggle.
Honestly.
No, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
Because it's just always hanging there. You
And-
bring it up,
and
and because they believe wholeheartedly, they'll go you at the drop of
And
the
they
hat.
bring it up all the time. And it's the other thing. And so you can't gloss over it because they're always talking about it.
My thing is, I would like to live a life where I'm like each their own and, if you believe it, no worries, but I think you're a great person. But every time you bring that person to a barbecue or something, you just know where it's going to go.
No.
They're like, who'd you bring here?
No.
We want to talk about this.
Tough.
We want to know if you have had someone in your life or if you know somebody that fully believes a conspiracy theory and you're like, oh my God.
You may be one of them.
Yes.
No, we don't.
No, we don't want them.
No.
Okay.
We want the people adjacent to them.
We don't want the conspiracy theorists. We like the people where they have one in your life.
If you've been on a first
Very
date
cool.
and then it came out that they were, a little bit like we never landed on the moon kind of business, and you're like, wait, what?
We did land on the moon,
did
didn't
land
we?
on the
I've got a
moon.
couple of friends that don't believe we landed on the moon. I just spoke to them the other day. They don't believe it. We did, didn't we?
There was a show on that was trying to prove that we did
that debunked it.
Anyway.
Shadow or something.
We are talking about whether you know or knew somebody that believes in a conspiracy theory. Can we quickly get Harry and Sam over to the phone? Come over here, guys, because you blew me away. We have worked with you every day for so long. Talk to me about what you believe.
This is not even a conspiracy theory. The truth is that 9/11 was an inside job. The
Absolutely was.
The
An
government.
inside job.
What's your evidence?
Well, obviously they were justifying the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq. And I tell you what, there's so many scientific facts behind this.
Didn't they invade Iraq afterwards?
So they decided
They wanted to go in.
sacrifice like 5,000 people
Absolutely.
and the Twin
devastate.
Towers.
I'm not talking. This. I mean, I can't say
And the
this
World
is a
Trade
fact,
Center.
but the whole thing is so suspicious. You know, when the plane hit the second tower, like, where was George Bush? He was reading to kids in kindergarten with like camera crews on it.
Oh,
It
that-
was like the
that's your
perfect
evidence.
What are you
setup.
talking
It was
about?
the
They're
perfect
always
setup.
reading the kids with a camera.
No. The president. It was just suspicious.
What are you doing?
You need to
was
watch
bootleg.
this documentary.
Okay, have you both watched this documentary?
Tower 7.
Then I'm not watching
Watch
it.
Tower 7. The
No.
pre-read controlled demolition of Tower 7 is mind-blowing.
No.
There was just too much on the line for the states, like to invade Iraq and Afghanistan. Like,
Covering
No,
up
I'm not with them,
documents.
no.
You two
Covering
are
up documents.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You know anything. You're so funny.
FBI building.
Oh my
So
God.
now we can't respect them. That's what happens.
So
It's a chain
far,
reaction.
our call is winning.
Let's chat to Elise. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Elise.
A
Is
bit
there
puzzled, Elise.
Is there a conspiracy theorist in your life, Elise?
Oh, unfortunately, yes. Next to conspiracy theory in the dictionary is a photo of my brother.
Okay.
Exciting. So, how old is he right now? What is he?
51.
51.
Yeah.
All right.
And what does he believe?
He believes that the world governments are trying to kill us all off with the COVID vaccine, that it contains the AIDS virus and all this other nonsense.
So now anyone that's been jabbed has AIDS?
Yeah, it's a death jab. We're going to die.
Righto. Okay.
More
We
people
get
died from COVID than died from the vaccine,
Yeah.
but okay.
It's not even close,
Yeah,
actually. It's not even.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Continue.
And where's your peer-reviewed articles? But
Yes.
anyway, let's not go there. That's another argument. He believes that he lives in Sydney, and he believes that the government come along and feed the clouds to make it rain. And every time they have an excessive amount of rain, it's because the government have been feeding the
Oh,
clouds.
so when there were all those floods,
Feeding the
feeding. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
so the floods over
Yeah.
east, the government did
The government
that
did that.
because
Yep.
To keep them. Why did they want them to do that to the people?
Was he? Yeah.
Who knows?
You'll
They're
wipe
trying
out-
to kill everybody off.
But then there's no one left to govern. What would be the end result
I
of
know
that?
there is no logic to these
No,
arguments.
I know how
No.
frustrating for you,
You
Elise.
see-
And you're
Oh,
a
my
family
God.
member. You can't cut them off.
No, the COVID
No,
thing, a lot of people
no.
were talking about that whilst the COVID situation was happening, and you know, whatever. But
There is
but it's still going on.
only one governing body that controls a cloud, and that is Apple.
That's right. Well, you once got a phone call from the cloud,
I got a
so
phone
you know.
call from the cloud.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Wow, Elise. Good luck at family gatherings. That must be a bit of a challenge.
And you'll have blood related to him.
At least he lives in a different state.
Oh,
That's
I
the
love
saving
that.
grace.
Hey,
isn't it?
Tracy.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Trace.
Okay. Is there a conspiracy theorist in your life, Trace?
Yes, and he came from my womb.
He came from your womb.
Oh, so your child is a conspiracy theorist. What
Yes,
do they believe?
He's
it.
7.
Yeah.
Well, he's 7.
Yep.
And
7.
he came to me at 7 when he was 6.5, and he said, Mum, I've got a question. I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. Where are babies come from? No. Have you ever seen baby pigeons? And I was like, well, I haven't. No, why? Okay. I said, why? Well, I think you need to know. I said, what do I need to know? They're robots, Mum. Sent from the government.
Robot pigeons.
Spine us.
Because we've never seen a baby one.
Yeah.
Never seen a baby pigeon in the wild. It's because they're bred in captivity by breeders to spy on us and send back information from them.
Okay, so they're not built.
That's
They're
how
not,
their
they're not
eyes are
built
red.
as robots, just as
They're not machines.
But they are nurtured in some government facilities, nurseries, and then I'm guessing some robotic cybernetic chips are put in them to surveil us.
They're like robot spies, apparently.
Like robots. So
Okay.
we're talking about chickens. Pigeon cyborgs.
Probably the chickens too, to be
Trace.
honest.
He needs to come out to Sue and Henry's place. That's my
Yeah,
mum and
pigeons
dad's, and
everywhere.
see them live.
Babies.
From eggs to babies to adults, flying around, living their life with no chips in them whatsoever.
But while you're there, you can go into the shed where we build bionic llamas. So
they're evil looking,
They
though.
are.
Those
They're terrible.
I don't think we're helping the situation.
Yeah, these are amazing.
Angela, hello.
Hey, how are you going?
Hey, Ange.
Hey, Ange.
Okay, who is it that's the conspiracy theorist?
So one of my best friends, actually, she's quite far-fetched sometimes with some of her stories.
How exciting.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was January, Perth. I live in Perth, and we had a lot of fires going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was trying to say, it's kind of funny how all the fires are, like, in the middle, and they're pushing everyone towards the ocean. So, like, these fires are going to keep happening, and then everyone's going to end up beside the ocean and have nowhere to go.
Wait, what do you mean?
Nowhere to go.
So the fires are pushing us to live by the ocean? Or
Pretty much.
But
So
like
either,
none of us can afford to live by the ocean. So what happens?
What do you mean?
Exactly.
Oh,
She's
my God.
Well, you know,
nowhere
like,
to go. What do you mean nowhere to go?
It's like conspiracy theory, like the government's trying to, kill off a lot of the population or whatever.
Yeah.
So by having all these fires just magically appear, they're pushing everyone.
In heavy bushland, that.
Yeah, and it was mostly
Sean,
lightning strikes.
If you, you can imagine Perth being one of those metal fire pits from Bunnings.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so the fire's happening in the middle and we're all having to flee to the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
For-
ones
for-
that can't
for-
flee,
for
then,
absolutely no purpose.
well,
Just to
we
survive.
lose some in the way.
We lose some,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's a
We're
great
killing
one.
a few people off.
Is that where it ends with her, or
Is there more?
Yeah. Pretty much. You
That's all you need.
either burn or drown, pretty much.
So, and when you have a friend like
What a
this, so
stretch.
we've heard from other people where it's family members, and so you're committed to them because they're family. But this is your friend. So when she starts saying this stuff, does it make you look at her differently, or you're like, oh God, I can't spend time with her, or I can't take her to a barbecue?
No, not really.
You
I
don't
just
care?
go, dude, that's a bit far-fetched. Like,
Yeah,
come
right.
on.
yeah, you can take her to a barbecue. She'll just be very far away
yes.
from the barbecue,
That's right.
near a
That's
cup
right.
of water.
Thanks, Ange. Tracy, hello.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, Trace.
Is there a conspiracy theorist in your life?
Oh my God, yes. One of my best friends. It must be a best friend's moment.
yes.
My best friend is a clinical psychologist, and she's supremely intelligent, but she's a complete nutbag. So we embrace her wholly in our group and accept her strange diversity. She's teaching us tolerance.
What
but
does she believe? What does she believe?
She believes that Reese Witherspoon, Oprah, Cameron Diaz, anyone with a prominent Adam's apple is actually a man. And that's some sort of government conspiracy cloning thing happening.
Okay,
She believes that. She also believes some of the richest people in the world, like Trump and I don't know, I can't name any
Bez-
others, but
Bezos, maybe, yep.
Yep,
Elon
absolutely.
Musk.
They are all part of an alien species called the reptilians.
Oh, the reptilians.
these are the
we know the
lizard people.
reptilians.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We know
And,
them.
stuff like the COVID vaccine, we're all just getting microchipped, and then it's going to be part of the new world order in 2030 where we're all one world, and, they're killing off all the stupid people in the meantime.
Oh, God, I'm in all
Vaccine.
sorts.
So, look, it just never ends. She sends me stuff constantly, and I just roll my eyes and go, yeah, whatever.
Tracy, okay,
She sends
I
you
have
stuff.
been around someone like this, and the whole conversation is just about this, and you go down these rabbit holes, and it can take like hours because they don't want to stop talking about it because they want to try and convince you it's true. Is that what she does? Does she just go on and on about it?
She can, but we, as a group of friends now, know how to interrupt and redirect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
send
skill.
a
That's a
robot
great
pigeon
skill.
in.
Because, it just gets too much. I listen to her a little bit and placate her, but it just gets to a point we just have to change the subject.
And she legit sends you stuff. So she'll go, have a look at this website. Oh, my God.
What does she do? What does she do for a living?
She's a clinical psychologist.
Psychologist, right?
Oh,
This is a
Yeah.
supremely
Unbelievable.
intelligent person.
Yeah, she is one of the most intelligent, amazing people that I know, but yes, she's a complete
and
nutcase.
and she has patience.
Yeah.
But like, what if they come to her and they've got some whacked out story, and she goes, "Oh yeah, you're right."
That's
That's not right. Is it?
Look, it's good entertainment for us.
Yes.
Okay, but probably a bad idea for her clients. Okay, that is so funny, Tracy. I love that.
That is
Amazing.
great.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Well, it's one of Australia's best imports. Exports, sorry. Yeah. There you go.
Bluey.
Caused a bit of a stir at Bunnings, though.
People have lost their mind.
So there's the Hammer Barn episode that was quite huge on Bluey, and then Bunnings changed the facade to Hammer Barn and then had some exclusive Bluey products, which including some Bluey-themed gnomes for the garden.
Yeah, garden gnomes, yeah.
So they've been sold out. People went like mental and bought them. And of course, when somebody wants something, people see that as an opportunity to make money and they go and buy some extra sets and then they sell them on eBay, which is what's happened for some extraordinary prices. One seller from Churchlands, who declined to comment, managed to get their hands on 9 set of gnomes, selling them for a starting price of $3.99 each.
Fantastic.
Yep. Since
what was the recommended retail price?
So since they've sold all their sets, they've sold all of them, and one of the sets actually sold for $425. So they are $19 each, and there are 4 gnomes, I believe.
Yep.
So
basically,
$76.
Yep. So from each set
Nice
that was
markup.
sold, it's $323 profit. So all up with the profit plus the one they sold for $50 extra, $2,958 profit.
Easy money.
Whoa, how good. Outstanding.
So they are just profiteering off the fact that they're super popular, but it's not an item of survival.
No, it's not.
So this is the thing. People are going really angry. Like, people are not happy. One guy said, people that do this suck. Another one says, people can't be serious, can they? This is absolute criminal. This is my favourite. We missed out on gnomes, and my 2-year-old was so disappointed. Then found these online. Hope the adult feels good about trying to make an extra dollar. The adult that's making an extra dollar is worried about the extra dollar they're making. They don't care about your kids.
Also, your kids
because
too.
they got there before you did.
Your kids too. It doesn't know what's going on.
Yes.
It can't even wipe its own butt. It's not disappointed about missing out on a Hammer Barn gnome unless you tell it it's disappointed about missing out on a Hammer Barn gnome.
It's supply and demand.
We had the same thing with the energy drink that was over here.
Oh, yeah, the Prime.
The Prime,
Yes.
when everyone went ballistic. You know, the mums were getting down the shops before the supermarket actually opened to get hold of their Prime. People were selling it for big time.
Now it's everywhere.
Yeah, now
there's
it's
Primes everywhere.
It's a moment in
nobody
time.
even blinks at it.
And if you can be Johnny on the spot, why not?
Yes, but
I
it's
don't
not,
have a problem.
And we were talking about it earlier this morning. It was an issue when it was toilet paper because everybody needs toilet paper and hoarding toilet paper. That was an issue.
Yeah.
Hoarding gnomes, not an issue. We don't need gnomes to survive.
There are more going to be expected to be available at WA's Cannington store only there. So there are some coming up.
That's the only one that's been converted to a Hammer Barn,
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I don't know. I don't have any ill feelings towards people that can make a lot of money off something that someone else wants. And I'm not just talking about stuff that you buy on sale. I've never been in a situation where I have something, someone really wants it, therefore I could get an amazing price for it.
No,
have you?
No, never.
I don't think I've ever had anything of worth at all.
No.
No, that sounds right.
I know Pokemon were one of those things. When any of those cards came out, people were just like, yeah beauty, you've got them.
Yeah,
and
but say if you've got something rare that you found, you know, like at a junkyard, and then suddenly chuck it on eBay, and then then someone out there for some reason wants that thing, and they will pay through the nose for it. God, that must be fun.
We don't have the follow through. We would get the thing and then just put it in the shed and think.
I've got a brand new dishwasher in my storeroom. AEG, brand new, never been used, just sitting there. It'll sit there forever.
Yes, Brian.
It'll sit there forever because I can't foresee how I could sell it.
Well, it's impossible. It's not like there's any online platforms at all.
And then say somehow it found herself online, then I'd have to go down and get it out.
And then someone would have to come and look at it. No, that's the worst.
There. How's this? We want to speak to people about the situation where you had something, someone else wanted it or needed it. We want to know how much you end up selling it for.
It's the economic principle of supply and demand, isn't it? Ellie, you're about to be a parent. Would you be upset if somebody else bought all the Bluey garden gnomes and then your baby couldn't have one, and so then you have to pay $500 online? Would you be okay with that?
Okay, if you're paying $500 online for something Bluey themed, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, that could literally go towards anything else for your baby.
I know. What makes it so important that you must have those gnomes?
And you're prepared to pay $500 for it.
It's insane, isn't it? Yeah. And then when you can't get them, be angry at the people that got them.
Let's talk to Owen in Butler. Hello, Owen.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, buddy. Now, we are talking about when there's a supply and demand issue, and turns out you've got the supply and there's a demand for it, and that means you can sell it at an inflated price. What happened?
So I have been restoring, vintage old cars, mainly old Holden, for years.
Yep.
And when I first started, I started on an old Holden Tirana. Everyone knows, most people know Tiranas.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how much they'd become. I paid, $800 for it. Spent $7.5
How
grand.
much? $800.
Yeah.
All right.
$800.
Yep.
On an XLR Tirana. They're worth squillions now. And I didn't realise it's become, so expensive. I chucked it out front for sale for 10 grand, negotiable. End up with two guys squabbling on the front lawn. Massive bid war. One guy opened up his phone, checked his bank account, went $54,000 right now. The other guy just threw his hands up in the air, said a few choice words, hopped in the car and took off like a, bad trout.
Yes.
I went, mate, I said, if you've got the cash, go get it. She's yours.
And he had the cash?
He handed me $5 grand cash, went up to the bank, came back, handed me the rest, and I was like, here's the keys. Signed it off. Have a nice day.
Oh, my God, yes! Oh, and did you go inside and actually Google how much that car could have been worth? Because it sounds like he thought he got a bargain.
So at the time, they were worth around about 20 to 30 grand because they just started coming up in price.
Yes.
Looking at it now, it'd probably be worth a lot more.
Yeah, but he foresaw. This is these people like you got a great profit, but he could see where this was going. And how much it was going to be worth.
He's not losing money on it either.
So he knew it was an investment.
In saying that, though, at the time I had 3 SLR Tiranas, 4 HQ 100 and 2 HQ panel vans. So to me, it was just another car.
But Owen, when you put $10,000 on it, how did you know? So the two guys turned up, but if the first guy gets there and he goes, $8,000, you would have sold.
Yeah, I would have sold because at the time, I was a teenager. I didn't really know what they were worth. Gumtree wasn't a thing. Facebook Marketplace wasn't a thing. It was just what was selling locally. Talking down to the old boys in the pub. That's the way it was back then.
Hey, Owen, how many kilometres did it do?
What do you mean?
How many Ks were on the clock around?
On the clock.
Well, I rebuilt the engine, so it would have been a fresh build.
Oh,
It
okay.
only had about 500-600 Ks.
Because there's an original one that we're looking at now that Harry just pulled up. Harry?
It only has 30,000.
Less than 30K, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, less than 30K.
Less than 30,000.
So that's $425,000.
Yeah.
Well, the most original one I currently have has 56,000 on the clock, and that got that's been currently insured for $256,000.
Okay, sorry, I need to spend 2 days talking to you. So, why haven't you sold it? Are you keeping it because the profit's getting more and more? Because it sounds like you've got a few gold mines there.
So that one belongs to my mum. She got that when she was 21 years old.
Yes. One lady owner.
Old Duck didn't want it. Her husband passed away. It was too big to drive. She had a Dado. Mum asked how much she wanted for it. She said 4 ton of wood. Again, it was the 70s. So Mum was like, sure. And it survived the fires. It survived the divorce. It survived everything before me. And Mum always said to me, until the day I die, this car will never leave. And to this day, it's never been sold.
Yeah.
I got another one after I sold that first one and did it up, and that became my project car.
Yeah.
So I've kept that, same as my dad's first HQ 1 ton at Kingswood.
Those ones that you've picked up,
the cars you keep.
Did you those ones that you picked up personally, did you pick them up for bugger all, Owen? And you added the value?
So I used to drive around finding them in old farms that have just been left behind or...
Pick up one of the pickers.
I've never paid anything more than $500 for one.
Oh, my God!
That's what you call a bar
find. How much wood was it?
4 ton of wood.
That's insane.
That's great.
I don't know how much a ton of wood is, but that's a bargain.
4 ton of wood.
A few $100.
Yeah. How good's that?
Amazing.
Owen, fantastic.
So good.
You got to remember, back in the 70s, these cars weren't selling for $3 grand.
No. Yeah.
Someone that can't get hold of wood, that can't split wood, that can't ring up wood. 4 ton of wood, that's 2 years.
That was a lot. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and where are all your cars currently?
Don't tell him.
All on the same property? Do you have them locked away? What's the deal?
So I have some back down home in Tassie, locked in a shed, under lock and key. The rest of them up here in WA with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's what I do. I find old cars, I do them up. Sometimes I sell them, sometimes I get them for a bit. My current daily is an 86 LTD.
Yeah.
Ford LTD. I brought that $500 from a Just auction.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how much it was worth, and looking at them when they get sold.
Yeah.
The shed.
Yeah.
Not on the road. I'm like, well, it's nice to drive.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.